Hey, what's up everyone? The Dan Sandwich here, and I am back in automation and BBG Drive in a little bit. And what we are looking at here is a randomly generated car by the automation AI car generator. That's a sentence that I just said. But yeah, I hit the random button on the automation AI generator, and it landed on a 2016 light delivery vehicle that kind of looks like a G-Wagon. But what am I doing with this? So I can't just build this. That's far too boring. So what I did is I made a wheel of different car ideas, different ideas that I can do with this car. And I'm going to spin it, and whatever it lands on is what I'm doing. So let's take a look at this wheel. So here we have the wheel of ideas. And on this wheel, I've got lots of different stuff ranging from keeping the car stock and just building it the way that, automation intended and tweaking things and things like that to make it, a realistic vehicle in that class. Everything to turning it into a donk or a supercar or a cyberpunk vehicle or something from the apocalypse, like a Mad Max vehicle. So all kinds of weird stuff on this wheel. So I'm going to spin it and see what it lands on. And that's going to be what I'm going to turn this light delivery vehicle into. And we are going to turn it into a supercar. All right. That's going to be interesting. I wonder how we're going to pull that off. But let's see. I mean, it looks like a G-Wagon. So let's roll with that and turn it into a G-Wagon style supercar. All right, so yeah, we're gonna turn this light delivery vehicle into a supercar somehow. So let's start with we're gonna change most of the stuff here, I think. But let's just quickly take a look to see what we have from automation, what they gave us. So the engine it gave us is a 2.1, 2.2 liter inline four. Looks like it's naturally aspirated. That's going to go away. We're probably going to put maybe like a twin turbo V8, probably something like that. Or maybe even go V12, go really crazy with it. So this engine's going to go away. Let's see what else they gave us for this car. We got a steel monocoque, galvanized steel chassis, front transverse. Probably going to switch it to front longitudinal. McPherson strut front suspension and solid axle leaf in the rear. We're probably gonna go like double wishbone front and rear, maybe push rod. Since we're doing a supercar, and then let's see. They gave us a front wheel drive automatic 5-speed gearbox. We're probably gonna have to make it all wheel drive, maybe like a dual clutch. No differential. We're gonna have to change that as well. So almost everything here is gonna get changed. I'm just not gonna change the body style. Basically, I'm gonna modify this body, of course, to suit what we're doing here. But yeah, it's definitely gonna have to be different, basically everywhere, if we're gonna turn this into a supercar. That's gonna be really, really interesting. I could not have gotten a more weird combination probably of what I got generated and what the wheel landed on. But I feel like it's a good start. So let's start with, let's go back here to the chassis. We're gonna go partial carbon fiber for the panel material because that's supercar. Keep it at monocoque, and then maybe go glued aluminum. And then front longitudinal engine instead. Do double wishbone in the front and then push rod in the rear because this thing's going to have to handle really, really well. I'm thinking supercar means plus 10 quality for everything because this is going to lighten everything up as well. We do want this to be lighter. And then we're just going to go with a completely new engine here. So let's do a new engine project. New engine project. Do I go with a V12 or I think I want to do for a supercar. I think I want to do a twin turbo V8 because that's pretty modern. stuff there. Let's go. Let's go to ALSI. The 4-liter is too big for this engine bay. It's too wide. So maybe we have to go with a 60-degree V8. Yeah, I think the V12 would probably end up being too big. I'm thinking like a 3.2 liter twin turbo V8. I wonder. I don't know. I don't think I want to go like insane horsepower on this. But I do want it to be, you know, a supercar. So maybe 1,000 horsepower. Maybe that's reasonable. Let's go with forged steel crank. And then let's see. Yeah, lightweight titanium. Lightweight forged, and then we're gonna use balanced shafts because this is a big boy engine and it needs to be balanced. We're gonna figure out all this stuff in a little bit after I finish building the rest of the engine. Turbocharger, twin turbo. Let's go smart boost. Intercooler is gonna have to be pretty big, I'm guessing, before I actually get into everything. Direct injection per cylinder. Let's go with performance high. Super fuel is you know, probably correct. And bump the quality up as well. We're going tubular mid. We're not going to use any race parts because it's not a race car. It is a road car still. And we're going to put bypass valves on it because it's supercar implies some level of luxury, I think, especially with this body style. And so we're going to do a high flow 3-way catalytic converter. We're going to do straight through and then baffled for the second muffler, and then bump that quality up there. Somehow, oh, okay, it was showing the previous engine statistics, and it was only like 100 horsepower. I'm like, that doesn't seem possible. Cars issues with wheel spin. Okay, obviously that makes sense because I think it's still set for front wheel drive somehow. But we can definitely figure that stuff out. We're gonna have to put some pretty big, chunky tires on here, I'm sure. So I'll tune the engine stuff here in a little bit, but let's go back to the actual car trim itself. So I'm not gonna change the body style at all. I'm gonna keep it this weird G-Wagon van sort of thing. I am going to modify the body so that it suits a more supercar style. So that means really wide fender flares. So you can get a wider, you know, wheelbase on there as well. That's going to be the first and, you know, probably most important thing. Yeah, I'll kind of tweak this body around a little bit. Maybe make it a little bit longer so we have a little bit more weight in the back. So maybe we can get like a 50-50 weight distribution or something close to it. I'll mess around with this body a little bit once I start designing it and stuff. Can I make the nose longer? No, that's as long as it can be. So that's fine. Let's move on. I'm gonna change the drivetrain. We're going all-wheel drive. It was rear-wheel drive there, it looks like. We're gonna go dual clutch, because that's what any supercar worth its salt is using today. 8-speed transmission. We're gonna, you know, do more tuning there as well. Electric LSD. That seems like a decent power distribution for right now, but maybe more like 70-30 actually. Think about it. Bumping up the quality to 10 as we are doing. We're using semi-slick tires on here because it is a supercar. Let's go carbon fiber, why not? This thing's going to be expensive as hell. That means we need carbon ceramic brakes. And we're going to, you know, fine-tune the brakes here once we get the wheel situation completely sorted out. But for right now, we're going to leave it like that. Sport under tray. Let's put cooling flaps on there, I guess. Looks like we sorted out the wheel spin issue as well by using that better under tray. It's gonna be a sport interior, and then Get some modern infotainment in here. Let's go premium infotainment. Right. Still a two-seater because I can't actually fit any more seats in this because it is a delivery vehicle still. Electric variable steering is a sportier option, and we're going to put all the traction aids on because it is a supercar. See, bump up the safety to 2010 and the quality. We're going to figure out how to optimize the weight and stuff like that here in a little bit. Active sport suspension, semi-active dampers, and then we're going to put a sport preset on there instead. And plus 10 quality. So now it's a little bit more, you know, what we have in mind. It's got 610 horsepower right now, but I'm going to do a lot more work on the engine to get that probably up to, I might shoot for anywhere between 800 to 1,000, I think would be reasonable for a car like this. And we're close to $1 million, which is good for a supercar. Somehow still making decent fuel economy. But I wonder if I can get it to fit into the supercar demographic. That's what I'm aiming for. So let's do a little bit more work on the engine, and I'll work on designing the car and all that stuff. But we're gonna finish turning this light delivery vehicle into a supercar with the twin turbo V8. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this, and then I will see you once it's completed, and then I'll take it into BBG Drive and see if it competes with supercars, how well I actually did with that. Alright, and here we are. I have renamed it the Spectre H9 because I kind of just wanted to use this little ghost logo because I think it looks... yeah, so I did my best to try to convert this into a supercar. I believe it's going to have the performance. I think the looks, it looks kind of like what you would see someone would have, like a modified G-Wagon, maybe something you see out of like Need for Speed or something like that. But yeah, I called it the Spectre H9 Ultra Sport. And that's what I've got here. So replace that meager 4-cylinder engine with a twin turbo V8 that has 806 horsepower. Pretty good, I think, for a supercar. When it comes to the test track, it has a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2.1 seconds, so that's 0 to 62 miles per hour. Top speed of 236 miles per hour. So yeah, I think it's got supercar performance. I mean, obviously, once we take it into BBG Drive, we'll see how realistic that actually is. But I'll take you around and show you the changes here. So yeah, here we go. We got, when it comes to testing, yeah, I've got 806 horsepower out of this twin turbo. Quite a bit of turbo lag right there, but yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. It's all-wheel drive, so it should be able to handle that. We got the traction control aids and stuff like that, so it should be okay. And yeah, just a quick tour around this vehicle. Pretty wide fender flares. I got this like kind of scoop here going into the back, kind of cooling down the rear brakes. Some more air intakes there. I've got 2 spoilers on the back because race car, I guess it's not a race car, but you know what I mean. I kind of thought this kind of like rear window thing was kind of neat. Again, this started out as a utility truck, so there's no back seats or anything. I didn't do an interior because they just take too much time, and yeah, I don't know. But I thought like the dark gray with like the gold accents looked pretty cool too. Very Mercedes G-Wagon-esque, I think. But yeah, this is what I came up with, and I think I got the supercar performance down. I could not have probably landed on a more awkward combination of vehicle and prompt than this. But hey, you know, it is what it is. The vehicle also costs almost $1 million, so supercar performance right there as well. Probably more like hypercar now that I think about it, but you know, the line between supercar and hypercar is getting increasingly blurred. But yeah, I think it does what it needs to do. So yeah, now that I've shown you around what I've done here with this utility truck, let's take it into BeamNG and see if it actually does have supercar performance, like you know, it says it does in automation. All right, here we are in BBG Drive with the Spectre H9 Ultra Sport, the utility truck turned supercar. And I'm already noticing, I mean, obviously this is a mistake to make a utility truck into a supercar, but you might have seen it right there. This thing's got insane body roll. I mean, not necessarily body roll, but like, oh, there it is. Yep, it rolls. It's a rollover risk. It's an extreme rollover risk. Probably because it's so low to the ground. I thought that might help prevent rollovers. But clearly, this is not. This is not at all. Maybe the springs are too stiff or something. I mean, it's fast. It's really fast in a straight line. It's just the first time you try to turn it, it's gonna try to roll over. Oh, there we go. Smash it up real nice. Yeah. I don't know. I should maybe try to go back into automation and fix that. Cause it is, yeah, it just wants to roll over all the time. Huh. Okay. I mean, it's, you know, supercars are dangerous inherently, so maybe that kind of fits the bill a little bit. I mean, it's fast. I mean, look at this. It's already up to 180 miles an hour. It's really, really quick. Let's see how fast we can get this up to on the highway. I didn't even have that much of a run up. 225 miles an hour. Yeah, this thing's crazy fast. This thing's crazy fast. It just likes to roll over a lot. So, let me see. I don't know if I can fix that, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna at least try. I owe it to myself to try to fix that, because right now, you know, while it is fast, if you try to take a turn, and I'll try it, you know, maybe I'll check on the test track, but if I just go like this, it just, that's not even like an extreme turn. It just rolls over immediately. It does flip very nicely though. I'll give it that. So let me see if I can fix this, and I'll double back and see what happened. All right, I fixed it. I'm a master of engineering. When I was testing this out again, I was just remembering the fact that the actual G-Wagon, like the car that this is kind of based on, is also a horrible rollover risk. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just like go on YouTube and search Mercedes G-Wagon boost test, and you'll see it rolls over like every time. So this is an inherent rollover risk just by the vehicle design, but you know, if you really try to roll it over, that's a bad example as I crash into a fence. If you really try to roll it over, it still will for the most part, but I mean, in normal driving situations, it doesn't roll over any longer. I widened the track width of the wheels. So now, I mean, they currently extend beyond the wheel arches, so technically this is no longer road legal. You know, if I was really concerned, if I was trying to like make this like a, you know, a proper mod, for people to try out or whatever, I would extend those wheel arches and give it a little bit of a wide body kit and make it work. But the important thing is now it doesn't roll over as much. Again, as I showed you earlier, you can still get it to roll over if you really want to, but now it remains pretty much okay in turns. I mean, it doesn't turn as quickly anymore, which is a bummer, but at least now when you go to turn it doesn't try to kill itself. You might still get a little bit of a wheel lift in the back corners, like you would on like a hot hatchback sort of thing. Yeah, the handling is definitely compromised because of the wider track width a little bit. But the important thing is it doesn't try to roll over and kill itself anymore. So I fixed it. I was able to fix it. I'm a genius. So I'm pretty proud of that. Maybe Mercedes should hire me. I don't know. If only like designing a car in real life was as easy as it was in automation, I would maybe have a better job. But anyway, it's still very fast, and I still think it looks cool. And now it doesn't roll over as often. So I think that's a win-win-win. Look at this! I'm going 170 miles an hour. Oh, there we go. Well, I hit a curb, so but I was still going 170 miles an hour. Like, you know, the fact that it isn't constantly... What is going on with... what is going on with that? Look at that. That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen a body deform like that. That's so weird. Oh, one of my tires is just sitting on top of that wall there. All right, enough messing around. Let's take this to the automation test track and see if it legit has supercar performance. I think it's going to be fairly impressive for a utility van. Alright, time to see how the Spectre H9 Ultra Sport handles the automation test track. And man, this thing is fast. Got up to like 85 miles an hour there before the first chicane. That's crazy. And as you can see, the body roll is still there, but it honestly, if I hadn't taken the extra time to try to fix the rollover issue, I wouldn't even gotten past that first turn without rolling over. And I still have a little bit of wheel lift there, even in that turn. But, you know, I would have been on my roof in the sand right there if it wasn't for that. So I'm pretty proud of myself for being able to fix that problem. Here we are on the main straightaway. Let's see how fast this thing can get up to. And we're up to 194 miles an hour is what I saw there before I had to start slowing down. That's insane. I think that might be like the highest top speed on that section of the track of any car that I've built so far, which is crazy, considering this is like an actual brick. But yeah, that's nuts. I was pretty concerned when I spun the wheel and it landed on Supercar that this would have been an outright disaster. But I think I got pretty good here with this car. I'm pretty proud of this one. That's also kind of why I wanted to do this challenge. I wanted to see, you know, if I could turn any car into whatever. And that was a kind of like a fun challenge for me to take on. Here we are at the last turn of the test track with surprisingly 0 rollovers. And it's going to be a pretty quick time. We're looking at 2:01.7. That's the 4th best time. That's the 4th best time of any car I've tested. So it is faster than the McLaren F1 competitor that I built, which is insane. It's only about 2 seconds slower than a literal race car. So I think I was successful in making this utility truck into a supercar. That's crazy. That's super crazy. I might have to finish this build, like build it out an interior and make that wide body kit, you know, work. Wow, this thing's crazy. All right, I know this thing's gonna put down an impressive drag strip time, so let's go find that out. All right, drag strip time. Oh man, this is gonna be fast. I know it's gonna be fast. 800 horsepower, all-wheel drive, but the aerodynamics of a brick. Let's see how quick this thing can get up the quarter mile. That's under 9 seconds. That's the third best time that we've done it. That's crazy. This is actually crazy. So we have the Lego Race Car at 1. We have an actual drag spec Volkswagen Beetle at 2. And then this. It's faster than the race car I built. It's faster than the 4,000 horsepower Barbie Mobile. This thing is insane. This thing is legitimately insane. I am thoroughly impressed with myself. I know it sounds like I'm bragging, but I am. I can't believe I actually built this into a respectable supercar. But there's one last thing we have to do, and that is to throw it off the car jump and see how far it can fly. Alright, and last, of course, we are at the car jump arena to see how far this Spectre H9 Ultra Sport can fly off the car jump arena. Of course, as always, I'm going to be putting a link to this car in the description of this video, so if you want to download it and try it out in BBG yourself, you can. I think I'm probably gonna revisit this car and like actually finish it, put like an interior and get like the proper like wide body going so it is quote unquote road legal. Because I had no idea this car would be as good as it actually is. So yeah, and then you know I really enjoyed this challenge a lot. So I will probably be revisiting it. I mean, I don't know. I think I hope I didn't like blow my load on this one and I made one good car out of this, and then you know if I do it again it'll probably be a disaster. But I made a utility van into a supercar and it actually is good. So if you like this idea, if you like this concept, if you put a like on this video, that would be really cool. If you have other ideas for what I could do in automation and you want to leave a comment on the video, that would be cool too. Or if you just want to say hi or whatever, I don't know. And yeah, if you want to see what else I end up doing in this game, subscribing is a really good way to do that, apparently. But yeah, without further ado, let's throw this thing off the car jump arena jump and see how far it can fly. All right. So we're up to, let's see if we can get up to 200 miles an hour off the jump. We do, 206 miles an hour off the jump. Almost a full backflip. And then, yeah, it's just like the 450 mark. Now it's rolling over very impressively. It's going to clear the pool, I think. Yep. Smashes into the guard tower and a lot of front flips there. Spectacular crash. For a pretty spectacular vehicle, if I must say so myself. Does it still drive? Sort of. It's missing a couple wheels, or at least one wheel. It's missing one wheel and all the tires are flat, but the engine's still going. Yeah, so again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. Making this video. So I will see you all in the next one. Bye.